The Messenger, released in August of 2018, retailing for $19.99, and available on all modern platforms. This game begins in a faux 8-bit style. You are a ninja from a ninja village, and you're seen as kind of a slacker. But because of unfortunate happenstance, you become the messenger that must deliver a scroll. And no one thinks you're going to succeed in this. And that sets the tone for the entire game, being very tongue-in-cheek and incredibly sarcastic, with literally every line of dialogue attempting some kind of joke. And some of them are actually funny. A lot of the humor, however, is simply based in referencing old video games, as you will get various ninja upgrades as you go through the game, and the shopkeeper will inevitably reference an 8-bit game that used a similar mechanic to the tool you just got. But there are actually two kinds of upgrades from this shopkeeper. The ones which are mandatory to progress, which he gives you for free, and a whole series of optional upgrades that you're required to pay for. In theory, getting the currency can be hindered by you dying a lot, because when you die, a little devil respawns you and then hangs out, preventing you from collecting currency for a little bit. But the thing is, he's there for a set amount of time, so if you just stand still and don't do anything, he will just go away. So I'm not really sure what the point of this mechanic was. Now eventually, you will get to what you might think is the end where you deliver the scroll. But after a boss fight, it turns out you're nowhere near the end, because the world is going to shift from faux 8-bit to faux 16-bit, and now things look quite a bit nicer. But the difference is only visual. The gameplay is pretty much unaffected, but this is another fake out on the part of the game, as after a number of levels culminating in a very annoying boss fight with a devil, the game shifts one more time. It becomes a Metroidvania with a time travel mechanic. And by time travel, I mean you go through portals that shift the world from faux 16-bit back to faux 8-bit, with these shifts revealing minor changes in the map to get to areas you couldn't before. And during this Metroidvania part of the game, you can actually do quests for various NPCs you've encountered, and doing them will always give you some kind of fancy upgrade. The Metroidvania section is the final section of the game, and when you beat it, you do have the option to do New Game Plus. New Game Plus makes everything slightly harder, starts you with most of your mandatory upgrades, and you get to keep one quest item. But you still have to go through the linear portion of the game to get to the Metroidvania section. And personally, I think this mode would have been more interesting if you immediately had access to that part of the gameplay. But is The Messenger worth your time and money? Well, it's a $20 game that will last 12 to 15 hours. And really, that's not too bad. The gameplay is fun and engaging, and at times the game even succeeds at being funny. Maybe not quite as funny as it thinks it's being, but still, you might get a chuckle from time to time. The game does succeed in invoking both the 8 and 16-bit eras, particularly with its boss fights. And on all platforms, there is a free DLC, Picnic Panic, that will add another 3 to 4 hours of gameplay, and is island-themed for some reason. Overall, this was a very satisfying experience that I do highly recommend. And if you're on the fence about spending $20 on this, it has been known to go on sale for as little as $5 on all platforms. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.